Hi, it's Annelie. I hope you are well today, and I'm just going to show you a quick and a very next to nothing cost to make yourself some ornaments for Christmas. I've got a piece of cardboard, I've got this mold of cones, I've got a little bit of Modge Podge here and water, and I've got toilet paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself molds and put it onto this cardboard, and then I will show you. But first I'm going to do this, and then this needs to dry. You can use Modge Podge, you can even use a little bit of carpenter's glue. So all that you do is you take a little bit of water and you put it in your container. Then you just take a little bit of your Modge Podge. Some people do this without Modge Podge, but I like to make sure everything sticks down. So you're going to just put a little bit of Modge Podge into your water and just dissolve it. You can even put it in a spray bottle and spray in between. I'm just going to use my brush. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to take, a, oh, that's very nice. Just a moment. Okay, I made some new ones as I knocked that over. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my toilet paper, and I'm just going to fold it like this. Well, this works easier for me. I've done it with whole sheets of toilet paper and then cut it out, but I actually don't like that a lot. I like this more to do it like this. So you can also just use your, take one piece off and use that and cut it off in the end, or whatever also you want to do there. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to do this. And I've made one before, and I can just show you how nicely this looks. You can see it's sturdy. It's just the toilet paper and my Modge Podge. You can see it doesn't, I think if you press very hard it's going to break, but it's just like paper clay. And it's actually such a cool technique, and you only need carpenter's glue and a piece of toilet paper and a mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start with one, and then I will fill it up. So you can take your little bit of Modge Podge there on your brush, and then you can just lay your paper like that. And what I do is I just, if you take the spray bottle, you can put the paper in, spray it. But what I want to show you, this got very deep dents. That's what I actually decided to use this one, and not this one that's very flat. I'm going to speed this up because I don't want to bore you, but you're just going to take, it takes 2 or 3 layers before it doesn't break up totally. Then you can just, then it's easier to do this. But I just want to press it in all those nooks and crannies, because I want those, as you can see there, I want that nice mold, I want it to look real. So that's all that I'm going to do. I'm just going to make sure that I go into everything, and I'm just going to keep pressing this in here. And you can take about a little bit, about 5, I will say 5 to 1 water and Modge Podge, but you could put a little bit more if you like. You can put a little bit less. Some people doesn't even use the Modge Podge. They just use the water, but I don't know. My brain tells me I need to put some kind of glue in there. Okay, I'm almost finished. So I'm just putting a few last layers onto this. I want it flat with a mold so that I can stick it easy onto my piece of cardboard. And remember, you can do this with air dry clay, you can do this with resin, you can use this with plaster of Paris. I usually use air dry clay. I'm a big fan of air dry clay, but I decided today just to show you that you don't need fancy stuff or anything to make yourself nice, something nice for your Christmas tree or for a present or for anything that you want to use it for. And I think I'm finished. So now I'm just going to tap it like this to flatten it a little bit more out, and then I'm going to let it dry. And as soon as I take it out, it's going to look like this. It will dry about for I think I can take it out tomorrow maybe. You must just make sure. What happens sometimes, if you, like, I've made one that fits there, and what happened, I took it out and I left it like that, and it cooled up as it dried. So what I would suggest is to leave it like that, and as soon as it's almost dry, just put something on flat on top to just keep it that way. Otherwise, I think what can work is if you glue it down on your blank or whatever you're going to use. If you, not a piece of cardboard, but a thin cardboard, but maybe something sturdy, maybe glue it down before it gets time to shrink or bend or anything, you know, or curl. So you can see I just placed it back and spritz it a little bit of water and put something on top of that, like that it can hold it down like that, and it worked. So just keep that in mind if you take it out too quickly. I'm just going to make another one as well. Okay, this is dry now. You can see it came a little bit away from the side, so I'm just going to bend my mold like that and take it out, and you can see it looks perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I just took a thin lid and I just made a circle with my pencil, and I'm just going to cut it out now. So I'm just going to take my scissor and cut it out my circle, and then I will glue it on with my glue. Just want to get another scissor. This one is not nice. Okay, so I decided I'm going to take this top layer off. So what I will do is I'm just going to wet it. Let it sit for a moment. And then I will take off the layer. I'm going to glue this with my Gorilla Glue. And then I'm just going to paint it white or whatever I decide. You can use your craft paint. You can use, if you've got a little bit of leftover house paint, you can use this as well. It doesn't really matter as long as it's acrylics. Just wait a moment or so that it can soak into the top layer. As usually, I'm not going to wait that long. I don't hope I'm going to make a mistake, but yeah, I think I am. But anyways, I'm going to take this off now, and I'll just take that pieces there off with my toothpicker thingy. I don't worry about too much because I'm going to paint it, so I like the texture. And I'm just going to take the excess off. It's actually better to do this beforehand, before you start to make your circles, then you don't have that problem there. But I was thinking of putting it on the cardboard, and then I changed my mind at the last minute. I'm just going to quickly dry that. Okay, so I'm going to take my Gorilla Wood glue, and I'm just going to glue this onto this piece of cardboard, and then I will just paint it. It's a little bit flimsy, so I decided to put another piece at the back just to make it sturdy, if I can maybe hang it up on a tree or something that I don't struggle. So I'm just going to quickly glue it down. Down like this. And as soon as it's dry, I will cut it out. Okay, I just want to make a hole because I want to hang this. You can use your bamboo skewer to make a hole there. You can do it beforehand as well. I've got this little thingy, I don't know what you call it. So I'm just going to use this to make a hole. And then I'm just going to cut it out. It's still a little bit wet, but I'm just going to go for it. You can even take the back of this cardboard also off, that you've got two sides that look like this, and you can glue your, make yourself more embellishments and glue them both sides. So if you hang it up in a tree or something, that it would look the same from both sides, and that can actually also look very nice. I just want to take that extra piece of cardboard off there. So now you can decide if you want to paint it, if you can maybe paint it different colors, or you can maybe just make it white, or I don't know, it depends on what color your tree is as well. But I'm just going to paint mine white, and maybe I will put a little bit of texture paste, I'm not sure, on the back. I will see what the paint does. So I'm going to start at the back, and I'm just going to take a lot of my paint, and I'm just going to dab it like this. You can even put some texture paste into these sides as well. I'm not going to do that. So I will be painting the back, and as soon as this is dry, I will turn it over and paint the front. And maybe you can, I didn't think so, you don't need to use that side. You could have glued that side so that this was at the back, and then you didn't need to put two coats on like I think I will need to do. But learn from my mistakes. Sometimes I must just plan a little bit ahead, but yeah, I just go, and then afterwards I think, oh, I must have glued that side first. But anyways, I'm just going to let this quickly dry, put on a second coat, turn it over, and then I will be back. So now I'm just going to make sure I pop in this paint everywhere into all these nooks and crannies, and you can just take a decent amount of paint onto your brush and just dab it into all those areas that you can see. It's rather deep, so just be careful now, as this can also get a little bit, when it starts to get wet, it can maybe get soft again, so just be careful for that. And then I'm just going to paint my background like this and let it dry. Now it's dry now. Now you can see I left a little bit of the carton or the box a little bit around the cone brown, because I like the depth. You can even, if you look closely, let me just try and get it in focus. You can see you can even leave a little bit of the carton coming through there. Then you don't need to actually do this. But you can use a dark brown or any dark craft paint like this and just thin it down with water. I'm going to do a wash on top of this, and then I'm going to wipe it away. But I use a wet wipe for that. I don't use my toilet paper, as this gets stuck everywhere. So a wet wipe works great wonders. If you do chalk paint or anything, you will have a glaze medium at home that you can use. So I'm just going to use my glaze medium. Usually if I don't have the glaze medium, I use my thinned out burnt umber or raw umber, and you just thin it out that it's watery, that you can put it on and wipe it away. It's just to give it a little bit of a more antique look and a little bit depth and shadows and everything. You don't need to do the whole thing. If you like, you can just do the pine cones. You don't have to go over everything. I usually just go over everything and doesn't really worry and just take away as much as I like, but it's up to you. And when this thing is dry, you can just give it a coat of a matte or gloss or whatever varnish that you like. You see, you can just go everywhere if you like. Otherwise, you can just do the pine cones. Now I just take my wet wipe and I just dab slightly over everything and take away as much as I like. I like to use a little bit of those in the valleys, you know, and just wipe away on top. This I want a little bit darker, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is, and then just to tone it everything, I'm just going to put a little bit of my glaze at the back as well and on the sides. So that's all you actually need to do. And you can see nobody would guess this is a piece of cardboard. You can also take your texture paste and take a palette knife and go all around this to maybe fill up that areas if you don't like it, but it doesn't bother me. So now you can just take your piece of string. Do this after you've varnished it, but I just want to show you how it's going to look. Just take it down there, and you can even put a wooden bead or something that you've got that's nice. There at the bottom, and there you've got it. And then there you've got it. I decided to put in that bead that you can see, and I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, I will definitely see you next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.